Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the RuneQuest rules by Chaosium Incorporated. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Strong language, mature scenes, and rune magics are on the way. As this is our Glorantha, we will remind listeners that it may vary from the one you already know and love. And now, on to the show. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I am your storyteller this evening, Michael Diamond. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back in Glorantha for our adventures in Dragon Pass. We want to thank you for joining us and listening along with our tales of wonder and amazement. Like the amazement that the players all had that Apple Lane hasn't completely turned into some sort of strange, horrific scene yet. But we're not out yet, so we'll see what happens, right? We want to allow you to talk back to us on the show. You can definitely check us out on our Discord server, which you can find through multiple social media imprints, including our YouTube page, on our Twitch page, and then, of course, on Facebook. So come and join the community and talk to Morgan about movies, because I'm sure she would love that. We're going to begin with introductions, which will begin to my right.
Hi, everybody. This is Heather, and pronouns she, her, and I play Lysana. I don't know. I don't quite still feel like an initiate of Ronalda. I feel like having imparted wisdom to those new initiates that's kind of brought me. I like to think of myself as a devotee of the Earth Mother in that. And if anyone does come on and talk movies with Morgan, go to TV and talk Supernatural.
Boy, next to Lysana.
This is Jake, and I'm playing Vargast, and we're here in Apple Lane enjoying a little festivities. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
No,
not
at all. Why would it? Next to Vargast.
Hi, this is James, and I'll be playing Finn the Fisherman, and he's probably just about finished drinking by now. Maybe. We'll see.
I mean, don't go too fast there. Next to Finn.
This is Morgan, and I play Alara. And I keep wanting to say of Hill-based stead, and I'm not really of Hill-based stead anymore, but it's ingrained in my brain. Our pronouns are she, her, and we are initiates of Marincor. So we like to, play with quake beasts, make the ground shake, all that fun stuff. Sacrifices, which Faisal doesn't like. But here we are.
Here we are indeed. And last, most certainly not least.
Hi, this is Rena. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Faisal, any and all pronouns, initiate of Humacht and of Heller. And I am still reeling from the horrible truth that I learned in the last session.
Yeah, the truth that you seemingly have learned, the clarity you asked for from Humacht was unsettling. And that is the choice that you made has upset the balance for thousands of people. We'll let that just sort of rest within your mind and let it rattle around inside your ribcage and see how long it takes you to act based on that. So as we lift the curtain tonight on Apple Lane, we see that the majority of the revelers are continuing throughout the day. It actually goes into the night. And so feasting and cakes and wine and mead begin to get passed around. Different natural, like sort of herbal things get passed around as well. Smoking herbs, mushrooms, all sorts of different stuff. And it really becomes this whole thing. Aster the Swift and the caravan folks join in. And it becomes this entire day festival. This is not, and just so our players are understanding it, in our Glorantha, this is not an all unusual. A day of adulthood, this tribal initiation that's gone on, this is a huge celebration time. And it is something that seems to be, at least from your perspective, Vargas, it seems to be this is the Apple Lane needs this. Probably because they're a whole lot closer and less protected than some of the larger cities are. And so they're trying to grab onto whatever makes the community tick and go. But it's a beautiful sight. And whether you choose to imbibe or ingest is up to everyone. Nothing's pushed on anybody. Everybody here is certainly pretty well charitable with what they have. The night progresses, or the evening, I should say, progresses to the point where you begin to think at some point about where you're going to stay that night. You can certainly stay out in the fields with the horses and the caravans, or you could stay at the Tin Roof Inn, potentially gain some rooms there, or there are other options depending upon what the player characters choose. So whatever, I'm happy to list those options as you encounter them.
I think Faisal would be staying out with the caravan to keep an eye on things. They're also not feeling a lot like being around other people right now.
Yeah, I think some of you might pick up on that.
Yeah, if you're noticing Faisal hasn't eaten or drunk, like he's fasting as a sort of self-inflicted penance, but just is there but hasn't partaken of anything.
Yeah. You certainly have a job to do to protect the wagons. That is not something that has changed. Even with the safety of Apple Lane, you could probably imagine there might be some difficulties. Okay. What about you, Lysana?
I think Lysana is actually going to be letting loose a bit on this. She has needed, I think, some time to kind of reconnect, and this has really brought her back away from her anger, back to the Earth Mother and those feelings and the teachings and home, and bringing all of those emotions together. So she is going to cut loose a bit.
Sure.
Have some drinks and probably find some companionship for the evening to find that happiness again.
You find happiness in a couple places. You find happiness in a woman named Averine and a woman named Lena, both who are initiates of Eularia. They invite you back to the Temple of Eularia, and we'll just say you spend your evening there and probably late into the night.
I do believe that my flower arranging skills will come in handy once again.
Indeed.
In multiple ways.
Absolutely. That's how you spend your evening. Finn?
Well, originally, Finn was thinking he was going to stay at the Tin Roof, but he actually, probably in the wee hours, makes his way back to the caravan, singing and softly to himself, or so he thinks, and eventually finds his bedroll.
Okay, fair enough.
Number one for the highfalutin city much.
Well, I mean, this is a village. It's not really a highfalutin city. There are structures here. There are buildings, but I get your point. Probably safer feeling out near the caravan. Maybe near Vargast. Fair enough. Alara, how do you spend your evening?
I would probably spend my evening people watching, sitting by the fire. I'm assuming Arcat has also come to the festival, so...
Yeah, he has. The locals are probably a little... I don't think skittish is the right word. They're all Orlanthi, and so as Sartorites, they would be used to having shadow cats around, at least in some respects, but there are no shadow cats here in the village, and so you probably get an awful lot of questions about Arcat. You probably get more than a few real interested looks, and not stuff like, can I pet him, but like, how long have you had him? Was he part of a new house? 'Cause they tell you a lot of legends about shadow cats that you've heard before, right? So when someone builds a house, they traditionally leave that house open, the doors open for a certain number of days after it's built, in hopes that Orlanth will bless them with, a shadow cat for the house to watch over the kids and stuff like that.
I would let the people know that are questioning, how long I've had him and everything, that he's not really mine. He's I don't own him. He's a companion for me and for our group. And I'll encourage him to, be friendly with the kids and, to show that he's not aggressive unless he's commanded to do so or something. I mean, he's still a wild animal. Once wild animal, always wild animal. But yeah, so I'll sit by the fire and drink mead and watch everybody dance and have a good time.
Okay. While you're drinking mead late into the evening, you watching the dancers. You get a visitor. It's someone you know. And that someone, specifically, is relatively small. They have feathers. Plopping down next to you is Quack John. He sits and then makes this sort of sound. He shakes his head. You get this sort of strange duck sound. And then he looks up at you. So, you busy?
Just sitting here watching the fire. Why?
He shrugs. What do you mean, why? Why else? I thought you might want to dance. The rest of these lot too scared to ask you? I'm not scared of your tan thighs. He stands up and sort of stretches a little. It looks really strange.
You know what? When in Apple Lane, I offer my hand to him.
He takes it.
Do you need me to carry you? Or, I mean, how does this work? Am I leading? Are you leading? Do you want to step on my feet?
He looks up at you. And keep in mind, he has feathers. But RuneQuest, Gloranthan ducks have arms. Right? So they have actual, like...
Oh, people arms?
Muscular arms. It's not like they have wings. He takes your hand, and you can tell that Quack John's got a little strength to him. He's not, for his size, he seems to be pretty strong. He takes you towards the fire, and he begins to dance. And so what I'd like you to make me is a Dex times 5 roll, and unless you have dancing as a skill.
So I do have dance.
Good.
However, if my Dex times 5 is better, can I do that instead?
I'm fine with it. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just say that if you're using Dex times 5, you're not really like doing any sort of traditional dancing. You're really trying to just sort of move with the rhythm that's being put down.
Guess I didn't need that anyways. Well, anyways, I got a 19 under 60 if it's my Dex times 5.
Very nice. Very nice. So Quack John has a 20 under 75. And you begin to dance with this duck. And at first, there is sort of the moment of trying to figure out who leads and how do you lead. But Quack John seemingly is a very adept dancer. And he does everything from lead to like shake feathers at you, and he quacks in certain spots, like in the right musical tempo. He claps. He's very vigorous. Very vigorous. And in doing so, he is going to spend a few magic points. As you dance with Quack John, you realize that he's sort of an exceptional dancer. And he might be exceptional as a duck. But having failed his spirit magic roll, he's not as alluring as he was hoping to be. Not that you're aware necessarily, but whatever animal magnetism he was attempting to come at you with seems to fall a little short.
Yeah, I do the nicety and dance with him just as he asked. I'm not one to, I'm not antisocial by any means. I just was people watching. So twirl and dance in all the right ways and moves, and maybe I know some super secret Marangor dances and stuff like that. I might wiggle it just a little bit.
Interesting. You are dancing very close to a fire, aren't you?
I am. So my legs might start lighting up too,
They certainly do.
I feel the heat.
Mm-hmm. there's also certainly a lot of other people dancing. It's a festival. And once you start getting into rhythm, the ground here sort of answers back at you. It's that sisterhood with Ernalda, where when you move, the earth moves because you dance in the rhythm as a protector of the earth. And there's probably some vibrational quality that gives off in and around the people here. They can feel your energy. You've not seen any other initiates of Marangor anywhere near here. And we're, Lysana, not completely concentrated on doing something different in the Temple of Eularia. She likely would feel it through the ground. She's feeling other things at this point, though. But you have a fantastic time with Quackjohn, who is fairly well-spoken, reasonably intelligent, and quite a swift dancer. We will sunset that evening on Water Day, and it will move forward into the next day, where Aster the Swift is preparing the caravan to move. At this point, the group has come back. Likely, maybe some of us a little later than others. Maybe you're not rising necessarily with the morning per se, but you are able to get back to camp, Lysana. And this is Clay Day in Fertility Week, which means it's a holy day for Ernalda.
What better way is there to ring in the new day with devotions? Just such joyous and pleasurable devotions. And breakfast.
Okay. Finn, you are spoiled slightly as your friend returns the new puppet to you, having completed the painting and the lunarization of said face.
Oh, fantastic. I'll pay him an L over our agreed price.
He nods a thank you. I wanted to finish it up last night, but I was a little too far gone, honestly.
That's all right, friend. That is more than all right.
Hey, listen, I brought you something. He takes out of his pack like a small clay dish, and you can like smell the fried apples in it.
Oh, that is absolute. Oh, you shouldn't have
my treat. Make sure you share with people, though. It's only fair.
I will give them just enough to know that they should have stopped over on their own. Hey, and you know what? Finn digs through his stuff and finds one of the bottles of wine that he picked up about a week ago and offers it to Postal. Here, take this.
No, many thanks.
Hey, absolutely. Little hair of the dogs.
I might need it. I think I slept with a shadow cat last night.
Where is our cat? Was it kind of had a twinkle in its eye, a little white patch right about here?
You know it.
I do.
I ended up sleeping outside last night, and I think it used me for warmth or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he does that quite often. You end up the small ladle most of the time.
Yeah, truer words cannot be spoken. All right, well, have a safe journey.
Oh, you as well.
And hopefully we'll see you when you swing back through.
Wouldn't miss it. Shake hand, firm handshake with him.
Yeah.
Head back to the group and offer around some fried apples and some taters.
Yeah, so for those of you who are smelling this, it smells like heaven.
Morning all. I have procured breakfast.
Ooh, second breakfast. Yum.
I have heard of it.
No, the first one made me hungry, so yes, that sounds wonderful.
He separates out 5 portions. Comes over to Faisal last. Hey.
Morning.
Morning. It sure is. Earlier than it should be. Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you only have a handful of sleep. Hey, breakfast. You should eat.
Thanks. Just very kind of neutral, quiet. Like I've been packing things and helping get the wagons together, like helping people out. Just dead silence all morning. But I'll take it and I will eat because I haven't eaten since yesterday morning, probably.
Yeah. Aster arrives sort of in the group's area. I've had word from Runegate that there may be a situation there. It's my understanding that trolls may have given Runegate some recent trouble. We should not only be aware of it, but it's possible they may ask for our assistance.
I see. Well, we'll assist as best we can.
Your armor fixed finally?
Yes.
Good. We leave shortly. Be prepared. He heads back towards the front of the caravan.
Trolls, Vargast. Finally.
It's not something to be excited about.
Hey, I take what pleasures I can, and seeing trolls is going to be one of those pleasures. And then later, surviving it and telling people how I survived seeing trolls will be even better.
There are safer ways to gain pleasure, Finn. But I can understand that seeing trolls is one thing. If we actually have to fight them, well, that would be a little different.
Finn opens one eye. Yes, but I can talk about seeing trolls in current company. Polite company, as it were. Closes his eye again.
Honestly, most tales you've heard of trolls have not been pleasant. That would go for pretty much everyone, especially given their predilections when it comes to chaos.
Oh, well, it was nice while this lasted.
Well, let's hope we don't have to dirty our blades.
True. Let's hope. But when has that luck ever been on our side?
Clever stories are not made by avoiding troubles.
No,
Trolls
they're
included.
actually made by surviving and making it to the next campfire to speak of them. Besides, there are other stories that can be told that are a lot more interesting with a cup in hand and a warm fire and, well, let's just say company that would appreciate the stories. Besides, those stories usually end up smelling a lot nicer than the troll stories.
You head out from Ample Lane. You head out through that northern road. Leads out through vast, vast orchard fields. The road that goes from here to Runegate is not terribly long. At least it doesn't think you don't seem to think so. It might be a day or so before you hit Runegate. So looking at the topology of Dragon Pass where you're at Apple Lane, you're going to move through some farmland. On your left, there's going to be a sort of sloping, sort of mountainous terrain, hills, large forests. But as you move through that space, you're going to be moving towards a river system. So through the farmland, and this is, Colomar tribe space. And really the last interaction you had with anybody from the Colomar tribe isn't necessarily a bright one, as the king of the Colomar effectively tried to kill you. The hope being that the roads continue to stay clear and you don't have too many encounters along the way. But you can tell the people that are the caravan drivers are beginning to sort of clench the reins a little bit tighter. There's some concern that they have as they get closer to Runegate. And then, of course, any conversation the group might have along the way is certainly welcome.
While I'm sitting back in the back of the caravan, my weapon at a ready, keeping an eye out on our path.
Finn sitting on the buckboard of one of the wagons so he can keep an eye on things, sling nearby, looks at the driver, or says to the driver, but what's the concern? Why is everyone acting so jumpy?
Well, it's the marsh. We're getting closer to it.
You suspect more bandits?
Worse. Upland Marsh is a elevated wetland. It has a long history, unfortunately, of catering to spirits and the undead, vampires.
Interesting.
Yeah, were it not for the ducks, whole hosts of the valley would have been overrun. As much as they are maligned, the ducks keep Upland Marsh in check.
They seem an interesting folk. I've not really had much dealings with them. But if they're willing to face down the undead, then, they can't be bad.
Oh, well, ducks come in all shapes and sizes. But they have an interesting, almost singular focus when it comes to their worship of Humacht. They pray to Humacht and gain insight into how to deal with the undead spirits. It is said that a Humakti duck can slay a score of ghosts before any one of us could.
Definitely not something to shake a feather at.
Well, hopefully we will be at Runegate soon with little trouble from vampires or trolls. They are bolder now. These occupiers have upset the balance that many of our men would have certainly kept them back, but Chaos Ground's not far from here, and so the trolls and others breed like the brew.
Thankfully, you hired a good group to protect you through this marshy lands. And I'm sure they will fight tooth and nail to defend you.
I should hope so. What do you mean they? You're one of them. He sort of jabs at you.
he puts his feet up on the buckboard. I don't know what you're talking about at this point. Clearly, we've both agreed that I'm more cargo than anything.
Huh. Well, if you're cargo, then I'm going to sell you.
Trust me, it wouldn't be worth the effort nor the sack to put me in. Offers him a bit of whatever libation he is taking the headache off with.
Oh, it's probably apple brandy. It's something apple-y. You probably smell like an orchard.
Oh, yeah. It's coming out of my pores at this point. Yeah, he did his best to squirrel at least one bottle of that somewhere in his personal stash of things.
About midday, you begin to see the refined farmland. Some of these pastures and some of these lands sort of begin to show a considerable amount of farm work that's been done to them. And you're getting what you feel like is probably within, hopefully, a handful of hours of Runegate. And I would like everyone here to make me a search roll. Or wait, no, scan. Sorry. Scan.
That's a 61 over 25. Lysana sees nothing.
Alrighty.
I have a 16 under 40.
16 under 40, okay.
23 under 35.
Okay.
55 over 40?
79 over 25.
Okay. So for those of you who see it, you see along the way here to the right-hand side of the caravan in what might be a farmer's field that isn't completely sown in just yet. There appears to be a form, like a bloodied form laying on the ground.
Nudge the driver next to me. Hey, Thomas. Hey, does that look like a trap out there?
By Orland's beard, what is that? He stands up, like on the board. Some kind of body.
The rest of you stay at the guard the carts. I'm going to check it out.
I'm going with you. You're not going into what is possibly a trap by yourself, Fargast.
Finn will stand on the buckboard and keep cover on them with sling.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm covering them.
A lot of good Overwatch going on right now. Two of them. So you two head down into this ravine, this slight ravine. So keep in mind the elevation distance change is probably no more than 30 feet deep, but there's definitely a dip here. And in the bottom, as you get closer to this form, you realize that it's a bull. And you realize that the bull has been gutted, like from the lower rib cage down to its haunches.
One cut or...
No, something did this. And it's not simple and easy. The form has been shredded.
What do you think, trolls?
Trolls.
Mike, Finn's keeping an eye on the tree line. You said it was out in the middle of a clearing, yeah?
Yeah, so there's some trees to your left. These are mostly like deciduous trees and maybe a few evergreens that are sprouted up in like a line. It would make for a reasonable place to perhaps conceal oneself before doing something.
Which is why when the others gather their stuff and start heading in the directions that they do, Lysana drops down and starts and kicks off her shoes, plants her feet on the ground, pulls from the energy from the earth, and give me sight beyond sight and second sight up with spirit magic.
Okay.
So 3 points of spirit magic. Yep, still good. That goes a range of 50 meters.
Okay.
Allows the target to view the power aura of living beings and spirits engage their relative strength.
Right. So you look out that space. 50 meters is, a fair amount of feet. It's not what you don't see. It's interpreting what you do see that becomes a struggle. There are no one aura. Whatever you're seeing is not a complete aura. What you are seeing is more like a strip of auras that run back and forth throughout the space. So imagine disembodied threads of colors, which you would normally associate with auras. But what you're seeing is the lack of a substantial collating point. And so it's almost like there's a bunch of aura, like echoes that are out there.
Try to focus in as hard as I can and see if I can distinguish anything, or if this is just maybe a field with leftover energies.
You stare for a long time. The forms, the colors move back and forth, but they never coalesce into a strong enough shape for you to get a read on the aura. When Varghast and Faisal return, you're likely at some point see Lysana looking in a completely different direction. Like she's staring at the far trees.
What do you see?
Not sure. It's a mix. It's not form per se. It's as if the auras float and they're occasionally moving. I've not come across this before. Normally you see outlines, but it's as if the clouds hold power and the mist moves. Whatever is out there.
Spirits and trolls.
My guess. Whatever is out there it's far beyond my understanding, at least to my knowledge.
So, one of my gifts, storyteller, is detect undead by concentrating.
Right.
If what she's talking about doesn't sound like a coalesced aura, can I concentrate and feel out and try and determine if what she's sensing is undead?
Well, yeah. You can certainly concentrate while the caravan is moving and try to hone in on what's out there. And after a few moments, you get the impression that grove of trees might be home to a spirit of the restless dead, or maybe more than one.
There's undead spirits there.
Is that what I sense?
I believe so.
But they are not a form. Is it just their essence that hangs there like a mist over wetlands?
I can't tell exactly what it is. All I know is that it's undead and restless.
Finn is now craning his neck so he can see where they're looking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything.
There's not much to actually see. Their energy, it's instead of dissipating or falling back into the earth or incorporating itself within the energies of all that have passed of our ancestors, these cling almost to the earth, but they move. There is no form to see. It is just colors and colorful mist. It's actually sad in a way that in the end this is all that is left of what they once were.
Did they eat what was out in the field? Because if so, then sadness is not the emotion I'm currently feeling.
I have very little experience with... I have experience with life. I have only an understanding of death from the flesh and bone perspective.
Well, that looked like something caused by a living creature.
Yes, you're pretty well certain of that. That's a rip and tear sort of experience.
I have heard stories from others. I thought of them as children's stories to make us scared when we were little, keep us and keep us in line and get us to bed. That when people are killed violently, suddenly, and they may not even realize that they have passed on and their energy lingers. And then those spirits can go mad. Anger, the rage, the pain that they felt carries on, even when blood and flesh and bone have all gone to dust. I had not thought that those were more than stories, though. I had hoped, at least.
So, I just need to know if anybody's going to leave the caravan to go inspect the woods.
Well, I kind of have to. It's my job.
Oh, the moment Faisal breaks off from the caravan, he's probably slightly startled by the fact that he looks over and Finn is suddenly right there. Oh, I'm really glad that you're going because I really want to see what's out there.
And Faisal's just like, oh no. But also, well, if you're coming, but you'd better be able to take care of yourself.
I've never failed to do so far. And, I mean, if this is the one time I do fail to do so, then, well, I had a good run.
So I guess it's just us then.
And don't worry, because my father taught me, how to make a very excellent bowl. I don't think that applies here, but I was just keeping up conversation because these woods are fairly eerie.
Yeah, Alara would jump off the caravan wagon she's on and head down into the field where the gutted bowl is. And see what Vargas is doing, because I'm thinking we might want to track whatever might have gutted the bowl.
Yeah, Vargas, you probably have a pretty good sense that, the bull was killed fairly recently, probably either this morning or thereafter. Certainly it's already gotten flies. Certainly it's gotten some things. But one thing very clear is that there have not been any secondary scavengers yet.
Not even birds.
Doesn't look like it. It hasn't been picked at yet.
Is the body warm?
You're going to get close and touch it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's some warmth left in this corpse.
It's a troll that's close. Damn it. All right. I'll see if we can pick up a trail.
Okay. Alara spoke about potentially tracking it. So how would you like to do that, Alara?
With my tracking skill.
I love it.
Yeah. So for this, I will actually use runic inspiration, and I'll use my earth rune and, stick my hands in the dirt, in the bloody dirt next to the gutted bull, and just breathe deep and then take it and wipe my face with it, because I gotta get dirty every episode.
That's right.
And just ask Ronalda to bless my tracking skills.
I love it. Go ahead and make your earth rune roll.
I got a 90 over 65, so she is not blessing my tracking skills. Fine.
No. Actually, the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So you attempt to be inspired by your earth rune, and that is a failure, which means you get despondent. So you are going to take a -10 penalty to every roll until the situation with the bull is resolved.
Well, it's just rude. Okay.
Yeah, you go to tap into the earth rune, you smother your face with dirt and blood, and you try to connect to the earth, and you get dial tone.
Yeah. Nobody's home. They gave me the wrong number.
You watch Alara sort of stare around and with like her face now covered in blood and dirt, and like she's trying to find a way. You still get to make the tracking roll, by the way. So please roll that.
Well, so I get a 49 over the -10 on my track. 35. So I failed.
Okay. You start off in a direction.
All right. I can't track worth a damn, so.
Right. She must know what she's doing.
Right.
I'll allow you one bailout. Can you tell me whether or not our cat has tracking?
Let's see. He does not have tracking.
Okay. All right. Fine. I'm going to play a hand of fate for you, Alara, and I'm going to make your track roll a success.
Yay. We're going on an adventure.
Indeed. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks to
Patreon.
thanks to your Patreon member who voted for you. Which is a great time to plug the fact that you can totally back us on Patreon and play Hands of Fate for good or for ill based for these characters and many other adventures. So you two begin to track, and when you do, you actually head back the way you came. You're down through this elevation, this little ravine, and you begin to head back the way you came. And you pick up some, I think, Alara, you probably pick up like the scent. You pick up body odor, and it smells repugnant and musky. It's so strong it gets into your nasal passages and like the back of your mouth. It almost smells like scent marking, like a spray.
Do you smell that?
Yeah. How could I not?
Do you think we're close?
I would say we're close.
Make the two of you make me a scan roll.
That's 85 over 40.
Okay.
And my -10 to my skill still apply, correct?
Sure does.
All right. So currently I have a 30. So then I got a 28 under 30.
Ooh, fantastic. You see up ahead where this elevation continues to sort of dip into a line, you see a very small cave entrance.
Yeah, I elbow Vargas and use my fingers, my eyes, see what I'm seeing.
I see it. Think we can lure it out?
What if there's more than one?
You think we could lure them out?
I think we can give it a try. Just the two of us?
Well, the others have taken care or trying to take care of undead spirits. So,
Yeah, so how do you want to play this?
but do you want to lure them out? And I'll get on top of the cave, and when they come out, I'll jump on them, take them from behind.
Get him. That's your plan, Ray? Get him?
Get them. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I should be able to back up far enough to be able to shoot arrows at them too.
Okay. So this moment of our adventure is brought to you by splittheparty.com. So speaking of the rest of the party and its undead ways, we're going to move camera and just go back over towards these woods. So the tree line is mostly evergreen trees. We'll say that they're fir trees, tall fir trees. The spot beneath them is, of course, as you can imagine, full of needles and other interesting cast-off things from these evergreen trees. There are a number of, we'll say, you get a really good look at where this energy continues to roil around at. And you can tell that there are two distinct patterns.
Okay.
So these distinct patterns are moving in and out of the trees here, deeper into this forest. And that's when the group of you begin to pick up this low, fraught moan, which gets echoed back a little bit by a second one.
Maybe they'll listen to reason. I want to see what they are. It sounds really unpleasant carrying around emotional pain and suffering all by yourself. And I have this weird feeling that Faisal has probably didn't just come out here to look.
They must be released. They are an abomination.
Unleash your fury on them, Faisal. Go ahead. Take out some aggressions. He gestures towards the clearing as if he were opening a door. Finn is not smiling, nor is he being sarcastic in this moment. He is genuinely like, after you.
So I'll step towards the trees. Do we see anything?
So, as far as what you see, as you step further into this tree line, you see a couple of forms begin to coalesce. They appear to be humanoid figures. They are clad in various Sardarite-style armors, and they are decrepit looking. They look like they are racked with pain, and whatever fury they once had in life has been channeled into sorrow, sadness, and regret. They continue to moan, but now they've turned to move closer to the two of them.
Why do you weep?
Finn, you get the impression projected into you that they were branded traitors.
Did you do this thing?
You don't get a distinct answer. Faisal, they're getting closer. Do you have any knowledges that might assist you with sort of spirit lore or...
I don't have spirit lore.
I just figured it might be something to differentiate what type of being you were dealing with. As there are many spirits.
Yeah.
You look at the ground, Faisal, and you see there are little bits on the ground of broken weapons. Little tiny remnants of a battle long since fought.
What did you do?
You hear on the wind the word assassin. And then you hear murder.
So it is your dishonor that keeps you here.
We are bound to this place, one of them says.
You cannot stay.
Are you bound to your bones?
One of these presences turns and looks at you, Finn, and you realize that there is a dead man looking at you. It continues to sort of coalesce and get more visible. And it says, they ground our bones as traitors.
Ouch.
The restless dead being what they are, Faisal, Humacht is pretty clear on what needs to happen here. You can't give the undead any sort of quarter. That's not. Now, if people get real inventive and want to figure out how to put these things to rest without combat, I'm all for that. But I'll give one or each one of you an opportunity to make some sort of either rational plea, funny joke, or determined vow, and then we'll see what happens. Faisal, Finn, what are the either of you doing when it comes to your dice action before something happens?
Well, knowing Faisal, the small amount that I do, but judging based on what their reaction is going to be, they're probably going to take a more, face forward, head on approach. Finn is more interested in the area that they coalesced in originally when they were, and he wants to, if they ground their bodies up, Finn's he's no old hat, or not exactly an old hat when it comes to spirits, but he's definitely listened to more than his fair share of stories. And if it's not a body that they're attached to, it's got to be something. So he's hoping that maybe in that area there might be something. So he's going to go with a simple scan roll, if that is okay.
I like that. Interesting. Very interesting.
That is a 4 under 35.
So you scan the space behind them, trying to get an idea of maybe where they originated at. And there does seem to be a small pile of stones on the backside of one of the trees here. And it's purposefully built. Someone specifically laid them there. So I'll give you that data. And then we'll sort of wrap with Faisal.
Faisal would go into full stop things mode with turn undead. So it's rune magic. It affects one undead creature for each point sacrificed, so I'd be spending 2.
Yep.
The caster must attempt to overcome each target's magic points with their own POW roll. Undead don't have POW. And then there's a table to determine the results.
So let me just say most undead don't. So you can certainly roll against their POW. What does Faisal do?
Faisal has put their helmet on before coming in here, so their sword out, and is whispering a prayer to Humacht while everyone else is doing their thing, and then the prayer gets louder, asking for Humacht's blessing to sever these souls from what binds them here and take them to the halls of death where they should be.
So we will cease our episode there on that very climactic moment. We have 2 separate parties doing 2 totally separate things, and we might get 2 separate combats, which is just going to be wild for me to run. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing how our story progresses in the future and seeing who, if any, survive these encounters. So thank you very much, and good night.